Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 6th, right after the 4th of July weekend. And I'm hoping that everybody has recuperated and had a wonderful weekend. First and foremost, we do again want to thank everybody out there, all those businesses, all the employees, all the business owners, everybody that worked this past weekend so that many of our people and our visitors and our residents could have fun. But we wouldn't be able to do that and eat in places and shop in places and stay in places if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for our community for this big past holiday weekend. We had a great weekend. I want to thank everybody again. Great parade. We had a fabulous park to park artisans market. We had over 60 vendors. Rain some, hot some, but it was great. So we want to thank everybody, and we hope that you left some retail sales tax dollars in the downtown area. So there you go at any of the number of businesses over the weekend. First off, we want to talk about some things that are coming up this weekend. One of our guests will be talking about that a little later. But I do want to mention that for those of you who have been here for a while, you may remember we used to have concerts here with Music in the Mountains. They are coming back to Pagosa for a free concert in the park on Saturday, July 9th at 2 o'clock. This is a great opportunity. The concert's going to be about 45 minutes, and it's going to be a string concert with, I believe, 4 to 6 musicians. They have a mobile stage. So please come down to the town park area and you'll be able to enjoy a fabulous concert on July 9th at 2 o'clock, Music in the Mountains. You are welcome to bring food, non-alcoholic beverages, a chair or a blanket. As they say, we love pets, but please don't bring them on this day. So no pets will be allowed and no alcoholic beverages. But enjoy a picnic out in the park, as well as bring your family and friends and blankets and chairs and just enjoy this concert. The caliber of music that's affiliated with Music in the Mountains is absolutely stellar. It is some of the best of the best. And not only that, but if you have the opportunity to go to a Music in the Mountains concert, you have a very short window of opportunity. It is during this month of July. But they will have concerts in Bayfield, Ignacio, Durango, Cortez, all over this Four Corners region. So take a look at their website, musicinthemountains.com, and look at their event schedule and see if there might be a concert that you would enjoy going to. They will have a full orchestra concert. They will also have Pops Night, which is just, if you want to treat yourself to a concert, that's one of the ones to go to. Pops Night is a huge gala, actually, and will actually just have food and music and everything. So go online and see if you might be able to get to a Music in the Mountains concert in one of our communities coming up. But don't miss the free one here. Here in Pagosa Springs on July 9th at 2 o'clock. Now, next week, the Chamber will be hosting our monthly I have Music in the Mountains, Maximizing Your Membership class here at the Visitor Center and Chamber Conference Room. So we will have that at 8 o'clock in the morning on July 12th, and it goes from about 8 to 9. Please let me know if you or Kim in our office know if you would like to attend. We do serve a light breakfast, so we would like to make sure that we have enough breakfast to cover for everybody. One of the important things about maximizing your membership is we're going to be talking about our new database system. And that's important for you because it's a time for you to make sure your information is correct. We are looking at, do we have your logo if we need to? Do we have the information about your business that we need to? Descriptions, keywords, all those sorts of things that are really important to helping make your business run, especially online as people search for everything right now. So please make sure that you come to one of our classes in the near future. But the first one will be this Tuesday on the 12th at 8 o'clock here at the Visitor Center. It's short and sweet, but not only will we be covering our new info hub, but we'll be covering a lot of other things as well. So our monthly Maximizing Your Membership class, the one for July, will be here on July 12th. Now, I also want to remind everybody that our Business After Hours this month will be taking place on July 27th, and it will be held at the Ruby Sisson Library, and it will be held by the Ruby Sisson Library Foundation. Now, as many of you know, the library is going into a capital campaign, or is in a capital campaign for an addition. And this is really important because this affects our community. So if you haven't been to the library in a while, why not? Because it's a fabulous resource. But if you have been to the library, but you still don't know what the expansion's all about, or if you're interested in it, please come out. Now, you know that those folks over at the library are tons of fun. So you know it's going to be a great Business After Hours. So mark down on your calendar July 27th for our Business After Hours that begins at 5 o'clock on the 27th. And then for all you outdoor enthusiasts that like a little bit of fun but aren't a real hardcore athlete, know that the Cruisathon will be back this year, and that will be held on July 16th. We'll have more information on that, but that is, as we've called it, the race for the average Joe. So a really difficult cruise around town, a really difficult walk down the Riverwalk, preferably in your flip-flops, and of course, the hardest of all, a float down the river in the center of town. Really hard events. The Cruisathon, the race for the average Joe, coming up on July 16th. Look for more information on that, and we'll have lots of fun on that day as well. So what we have something on our schedule today that's a little bit more for the harder core athlete, and that is the annual Rise Above Violence Duathlon that will be coming on this Saturday. So we have with us Ashley Wilson, who is with Rise Above Violence and their events coordinator extraordinaire, along with everything else that you do for Rise Above Violence. I think people just see you as events coordination, and that is not just what you do over at Rise Above Violence. So first and foremost, thank you for everything you do at Rise Above Violence. And let's just kick off this afternoon, Ashley, with again, we get new people joining our show all the time. So if someone says, I don't understand, what is Rise Above Violence? Let's start off by telling people, what is your organization?
So Rise Above Violence is the local domestic violence and sexual assault advocacy nonprofit in town. So we work with victims and survivors in our community. We cover all of Archuleta County. We have a 24-hour crisis hotline. So if you or anyone you know needs someone anytime, day or night, they can call 970-264-9075, and they will be answered by an advocate. We provide service 365 days a year. There is not a day that someone is not answering that telephone, because we know that, 3-day weekends, you can't just not be in the office, right? People need help all of the time. And so we have services available. We have a wonderful group of volunteers who helps us answer those hotline calls, and they go through extensive training with us. We have amazing staff. And so whether you need to call in the hotline because you need help immediately, or you want to just make an appointment and come in and see someone, we have staff and volunteers available for any of your needs, even if you're not necessarily right in crisis, but you just want information, or you want to talk to someone about what's happening, or you need a little help to figure out what to do next. Those are all things our organization provides.
Ashley, I just want to also bring up that it's not just for adults. You have huge youth programs. And I think that that's an important component with your organization. Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Sure. We have 2 youth advocates, and so they provide violence prevention education in our schools. We do a lot of different things around internet safety. We do sort of anti-bullying curriculum. And they do a lot of work on healthy relationships, because what we know is that if we can get kids to understand what healthy relationships are and what red flags of dating or domestic violence are, then we stand a better chance at sort of intervening in a way that will stop the cycle of violence in our community. Not to say that our youth advocates also respond to teen dating violence. So I know people would think like, oh, that doesn't happen in our community. It does. Anytime you're in a serious relationship, the potential for violence can happen. And so our youth advocates are also there to provide that same level of service and advocacy to our youth as our adult advocates in the office provide, to the adults in our community. And so while their focus is on prevention and educating our youth, we also have a crisis service for youth that are in those scenarios. And I would say for all of you parents, if you think that your child is in an abusive dating relationship, we are here for you too. So we can help give you information. We can help talk you through, how you talk to your teen about it. And so our services aren't just for the direct victims of those crimes. It is also for their support systems who might just need a little helping hand to say, how do I start talking to them about this? I've noticed it, but they don't see it, right? And so we are here for that education and information as well, because we know sometimes it's those vital people in our life that help us get to that next step of actually reaching out for help.
Right. And sometimes it's hard for parents to have that conversation. So it's great that you have that education from somebody completely different from mom or dad, because sometimes kids are like, oh, no, right. I don't want to hear it. So again, great services on both sides. And I just really want people to know what Rise Above Violence does. It's just, I've watched you over 20 plus years and watched the organization grow and just absolutely become a mainstay in our community. So thank you so much. But now we know that organizations don't live by donations alone. So we've got an event coming up and you guys are great at it. And we have the Duathlon coming up Saturday. So tell us how we can get out there and support you through this event.
So we're in our 15th year. Can you believe that, Mary Jo? This is the 15th annual Pagosa Duathlon. It is one of our 3 main fundraisers for the year, and so it does bring in a lot of revenue that helps us provide those services for our community. Right now, online registration is open until tomorrow evening. And then you can still register at Packet Pickup, which is at Pagosa Mountain Sports' new location uptown. We are so excited for that.
And we're going to have a ribbon cutting on Sunday for Pagosa Mountain Sports.
All right. Well, we will be there Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. At their new location. So we'll have way more parking than we normally have. And racers can pick up their packets. So if they've already registered, they can come do that. If they need to register, you can register in person at Packet Pickup at Pagosa Mountain Sports. You can also come out race day morning and register then. If you're just maybe coming into town Friday night and you miss us, then we take registrations all the way up until the race starts, which is usually around 8:15 Saturday morning. So the Pagosa Duathlon is a trail run and bike in the Turkey Springs trail system. And so we start at the Brockover Trailhead. There are maps on our website. So if you're curious what it looks like, you can take a look at the courses. We have 2 courses. Well, we actually have 3 courses because we have a kids course.
Right.
So for our youngest riders, they can come out and do the kids race, which is a 1-mile run and a 2-mile bike just on the dirt gravel road on Brockover.
Is there an age limit? Because that's more my speed.
Well, most of the time kids over 12 that want to do it come out for our regular race.
Okay.
But we are willing to accept anyone who has that ability, who wants to do that race, to come out. There are no winners in that race. It is not timed. So everyone is welcome to come out and run with our kids. And then we have a sprint race, which is shorter. And then we have a longer race for those people who are a little bit more hardcore and want to do the full trail experience. You definitely get it with the full do.
Perfect. And so registration is still open on your website. And that's great that you'll have packet pickup at a facility here in town. That's great. Anything you want to mention about the Duathlon? You said it's the 15th year. And so anything you want to mention? Is it super hard? Is it just, tell us a little bit about the course.
Well, typically we say this is a race anyone can do because we have the sprint. So that's it's a 3-mile run and an 8-mile bike. I know that sounds a lot, but when you get going and there's other people out there with you, it's a lot of fun. You can come out and kind of break into trail racing if you haven't gotten a lot of experience with that one. And it's on both dirt roads in the Turkey Springs system and the trails. And so you're going to get a little bit of both. There's always wonderful surprises on the trail because it's trail and we're getting storms and there's cows. So you never know. We don't call it the dirty do for nothing, right? It could be muddy. There could be cow patties. There's all kinds of things that happen out in our natural environment in our trail system, but it's beautiful. And with all the rain we've gotten, I mean, it's just amazing up there. And so, we always hope for a little rain the night before. It helps settle the dust. I think we might be in that for the forecast with a little bit up there. And it helps cool it off. So that's always nice this time of year. Have a race a little cooler. Registration opens at 7 a.m. Saturday morning. And so people can come out and check in. We do ask that all racers check in so that we know who's on the trail, so that we make sure everyone is back before the race ends and we all pack up and leave. So we do have a check-in station and you can come and register with us that morning if you haven't had a chance to register yet. And it's just a lot of fun. We have food, we have beer from Riff Raff for after the race. There's tents set up. So some of our sponsors are up there with tents. There's music. And then we do the awards as the races come to a close, actually at the trail system. It's something you can be done with by noon. So if you have other plans Saturday afternoon, you can come out. You can be home and done and on to the next thing. It's not an all-day event.
Music in the mountains, free concert. There
exactly. So it's a perfect day for that kind of thing because you don't have to spend all day at the race.
Great. Well, Ashley, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention or give us a heads up? I know we may have another awareness month coming up, or what if somebody would like to volunteer for your organization?
So if anyone's interested in volunteering, either for our events, so like the Duathlon, we need a host of volunteers to come out and help us pull off the race. We have other events. So October 1st will be the Art Above Violence annual show. And so we always need volunteers for that as well. They can call us at 970-264-1129. My extension is 4. They can also email me. It's just my name, Ashley, ASHLEY, @riseaboveviolence.org. You can reach any of our staff that way. It's just our first names at Rise Above Violence. And we always need volunteers. We need people who are willing to answer the crisis hotline, even if it's just one time a month. And we provide training for that, and you get free meals during training. But we are always in need of folks because any of our on-call shifts that aren't covered by volunteers, our staff take. And so it is always covered, but it's always a little bit of a nice reprieve when they don't have to take every single night of the month. And so we are very appreciative of our volunteers who do that for us. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so that is coming up. We have a new sort of virtual adventure challenge we're launching this year. So it's going to be really interesting. More information will be coming out about that. We have a really cool grand prize package that we're working on, and through the event you earn points towards, entries to win that. So we are getting ready to roll that out here in the coming weeks. It'll be up on our website, and then we'll be sharing it out on social media and at all of the regular locations.
Great. Well, we wish you and all the racers much success this upcoming weekend. We hope the weather holds for you. And once again, thank you and your organization for everything that you do in our community. And I know we'll be hearing from you soon about your other events. So thanks for joining us again today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, that's it for us. And as I did try and squeeze in there, we do have a ribbon cutting at Pagosa Mountain Sports. We want to send a wonderful congratulations out to the owners of that business. Their business is also located and started out in the downtown area, and they are the new owners and took over the hub. But now we have an uptown location for Pagosa Mountain Sports. So come on out on Sunday, July 10th at 4 o'clock. and celebrate with them and congratulate them on expanding their business here in Pagosa Springs. They'll be serving tacos and there's specials going on in the store. So just join us that day and poke your head in the door and give these owners a well-deserved congratulations. That's it for us today. We know that there's lots of things going on. We want to remind you to please go onto the Chamber's website for 2 reasons if you're having an event. 1, to list it. Please make sure your event is listed on the Chamber's website. It's easy. You can just submit the event, and that way people will know about your event. It is one of the most frequented pages on the Chamber's website. So please make sure as an organization you list that event. And 2, if you're trying to find out what's going on in our community, that events tab is very important. Not only does it have our calendar of events, but it also has the weekly live music and entertainment. So everything that is happening on a Wednesday to Wednesday will be listed on that site. And we thank Janine over at the Visitor Center for producing that every single week. So make sure that you get your events into that listing as well. That's it for us today. We hope that you have a wonderful week. We're loving this rain. We're loving the green grass, and we're loving that our river is staying higher than it has been in the past. So let's keep our fingers crossed for some continuing afternoon monsoons. So with that in mind, everybody, thank you again, and we'll see you next week.